On today's show, the guys are looking forward to the Christmas break. We know you are too. We're going to talk about what's coming up, a few things that we've got some experience with here lately, some really cool stuff we've got students doing that you can also do. All of that and more up next on EduTechGuys. You're listening to the EduTechGuys, edutechguys.com. Hello and welcome to EduTechGuys. I'm David Henderson.
Hey, I'm Jeff Madlock.
Yeah, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for tuning in, downloading, grabbing the episode, however you are listening to it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, don't forget to visit us on the web also, www.edutechguys.com. Heck, you can just go out to Google, type in EduTechGuys, and you're going to find us on all the social medias everywhere.
That's right, everywhere.
Jingling away. Ho-ho-hoing right back at you.
Ho-ho-hoing.
It's the most EduTech Guys time of the year. There you go. I stop that crap. So, yeah. Hey, we're heading right into the Christmas season. This is our show the weekend before Christmas break. Yeah. Christmas break, because the next weekend's Christmas. Doesn't Christmas fall on Saturday? Is that right?
I think that's right. I'd have to look that up because, you know.
I think it does. I think Christmas Eve is on the 22nd. Yeah, Christmas Eve's on a Friday, and then Christmas Day is Saturday.
That is crazy.
It's kind of weird being on a Saturday to me. It feels a little off, you know, kind of throws me.
when it's on the weekend, it's not in the middle of the week.
It's like we literally have 2 weeks off and then we're right back at school.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of stinky. I like it when like New Year's Day falls on a Friday, you know, or like the Wednesday or something, and they go, well, take off the rest of the weekend, and then we'll start school on the 7th. Yeah, that's better.
That's right.
It's like you're getting free days from me at this point.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Dirty dog. Getting free days. Yeah, listen, a lot of stuff's been happening. You know, it's been an interesting sophomore year of the pandemic, and who knew we're almost in our junior year of the pandemic. I guess that's what we can call it, because it was February 2020. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, January, February 2020.
Sure, yeah.
So we're about to hit our junior year.
Yeah.
We're going to graduate from this thing pretty soon.
Hey, I can't imagine what happens after we graduate.
Yeah.
Because, you know.
Then what's going to happen? You know, but I will say, especially out at your place at the cooperative, GT's been doing some really cool stuff, and we've seen some really cool stuff going on to keep in robotics and coding, to keep kids really interested in, you know, what's moving and shaking, so they can all work for Facebook and Meta. Yeah, so our Tesla, or you know,
and whoever else, but
yep, I heard we're going to the sun next, so that'll be great.
I did see that the other day, where you know, that dude put his rocket into the sun,
yeah,
or whatever the kids are calling it these days, and you know, it's just like I don't know. I'm old school, I guess. Why? You know, we're talking about that's our thing this year. Why?
That's man for you. We're always trying to put stuff where it doesn't belong.
Yeah, I guess that's what that is. I'm like that. It's just like
that's what's gotten us in all this trouble in the first place.
You know, although here's the really scary part of the whole thing is that essentially when push comes to shove, what they really discovered was that the stuff that particular vessel was made out of, like, can withstand the heat of being at the sun. Now, granted, it was like whatever 8 point something, whatever radials or whatever they call that, away from the middle of the sun, or
wow,
surface of the sun or whatever. But still, it's one of those things where, you know, it's kind of like being sort of in that outer atmosphere if you were coming to the Earth, you know, just kind of skimming across the atmosphere and then, you know, shooting back out. But again, it's showing that stuff can withstand the heat. So you know what that means? There is a redneck somewhere gearing up to take his ship manned to the sun to see, you know.
You just described the Andy Griffith show from the 70s. Do you remember the Andy Griffith show?
Yes.
What was it called? A garbage one. And he was a junk man. He built his own rocket going to start salvaging satellites from space.
Yes, so that's it.
You have hit it on the head right there.
Right. So,
well, at least now we know we can nuke aliens, and we can.
You know.
Hey, I see. It's really weird, and here's where the show goes south, and people go, "Well, I'm never listening to these idiots again." We spent all that time and money going to the moon, and I need a book that says, "Here are the yes, we went to the moon. We never settled on the moon. We never built moon bases. We never did that stuff. But here's all the science that we learned from going to the moon that has bettered mankind, because that's true. That's what happened.
Sure.
There's a lot of stuff we use every day now. We take for granted that we would not have if it wasn't for the space race. But we need to really get that out there in a kind of a compendium of here's the top 100. That's a YouTube. What are the top 100 things that the space race brought us?
Yeah.
Tang. That's unfortunately people go, well, we got Tang, and we can poop in space, and
we got freeze dried ice cream.
Freeze dried. You get the space ice cream at the mall. You wouldn't have it if we didn't go to the moon. So. So seriously, what's going on that you've been a part of? I've tried to be a part of, but it's been a hectic semester. But some of the stuff you guys are doing.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've had a couple of really cool things going on at the Education Service Center where I work. Namely, we had a Rubik's Cube competition, and it's crazy to me, because I was a kid when Rubik's Cubes came out, and they were, this massive fad. And then they pretty much disappeared. And then a few years ago, they started picking up steam again, and now it's absolutely insane. And so we had students from really all over Southwest Arkansas, and they came in, and we had team competitions, we had individual competitions, and in fact, one of the issues that we kind of ran into is that evidently we're the only education service center in the state, I guess even in the area, who is doing Rubik's competitions. So we actually had a student from almost the Oklahoma line who had come over, and he was by himself, so he didn't get to do the team event, but he did the solo event, and they do the whole standard competition scramble. We have the instructor who he's not really the instructor, he's our GT specialist, but he mixes each cube individually. You got to do it 25 times and blah blah. There's all these rules. So he did that, sets it down. This kid from off in the distance that no one, we didn't know who he was. I mean, other than he had been invited there. But anyway, he solves it in 14 seconds.
Holy smokes.
Here you go. I'm done. Thanks.
I couldn't even pull the stickers off and realign them in the right colors in 14 seconds.
I'm like, holy cow. Yeah, so the person that was his judge said, the way we do it is we use the speed stack timers, so they got to put two hands on the timer, lift their hands, the timer starts, they solve the cube, put the cube down, put their hands down. At the same time, there's a judge who's watching it, and they've got a stopwatch as a backup. So she tells them, 3, 2, 1, go. He picks up the cube. When he picks up the cube, she looks at her stopwatch to make sure that it's, working and started. She's looking, and she said about the time that she, is done looking at her stopwatch and looks back at the kid, he's like, yeah, I'm done. He's like, wait, what? So, yeah, it was crazy. But
I don't think people realize how quick 14 seconds is.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
But so, I bet he can sort laundry like nobody's business.
Well, and the kick is, so we asked him, we were like, man, is that your best time ever? And he goes, nah. He said that because he was by himself and he hadn't had multiple rounds to build up his to kind of get into that mode, his best time is actually just under 10 seconds.
Wow.
And I was like, holy cow. So I'm thinking, if you're not familiar with Rubik's competitions, then you can have teams of students you can have up to 10 students, but only 8 can compete at a time. So you can have 2 subs that can rotate in and out. So given his time of somewhere between 10 and 14 seconds per cube, in a team competition, they have to solve 25 Rubik's Cubes as quickly as they can. Based on the times that we had in our competition, he himself, had he been on pace, would have come in second. Wow. Compared to teams of students.
Like if he was the 8 team members competing against 8 other random.
Yes. If he was by himself versus 8 other people, he would have come in second.
Well, not necessarily, because like he said, if he had been playing with a team, he'd have come in even better.
No, he'd come with, yeah.
Even if the team was himself.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. So
wasn't that a Michael Keaton movie? Anyway, go ahead.
The other thing that we got going on, which is really cool, in fact, we just wrapped it up. This is the, I think, 4th or 5th year that we've done the what we call the vlog competition. And we opened that up to this year. We did it from 4th through 12th graders. We had no 9 to 12th graders this year, which I think is really interesting.
Interesting.
So mainly it ended up being 4th grade through 8th grade. And we give them a list of topics they can pick from. It can be things like, should the government continue to fund NASA? Should school uniforms be required? Who's to blame when a student fails a class? So there's a lot of research. At least that's the idea. The idea is that we have these students research their topic. They interview air quote experts. Those experts could be, most of them interview their teachers, but it could be teachers, it could be parents, it could be administrators, whoever, depending on what their topic is. And then they have to present that in video format. And ideally, we're doing this, kind of fun vlog style. So, we're looking for really cool editing, really cool edits. We're looking for transitions, but we're also looking at the research side. So, they got to cite their sources. They got to quote some sources in their work and all that kind of stuff. And we had over 50 teams submit videos this year, which was crazy.
That's a lot more than the last time.
Yes. And so it has just been growing like wildfire. And it's been awesome. And so what happens is when they submit all the videos, then there's a judging team. And we have a rubric, and the students have access to the rubric ahead of time, so they know what to expect. And we go through the rubric, and everybody gets a score. And at the end of the day, you get it. When we gave prizes this year, we gave prizes to first and second place for each of the team divisions, and then there's always an overall winner, whoever had the highest out of everybody.
The grand champion.
That
was cool because you guys gave. I think you gave them a $120,000 red camera, didn't you? No, I'm just kidding.
No, they get little trophies. That's what they get.
Oh, I came all this way, made a movie, and you give me a trophy.
Hey, yeah, we're like the British baking show in America. Instead of getting the little cake platter, you get a trophy. So.
Wait, but you know how America's baking show? I saw a great one the other day. As we sidebar here from that, it's like any competition in America. British baking show is that we need 4 cupcakes that look exactly alike and have trolls on the top of them. In America, it's like you have 3 seconds to make 18,000 cookies for a party tonight. And we'll be releasing raccoons in the room, and all you have to cook with is a screwdriver and go. But in America, it's like, and you win $700,000. In Great Britain, it's like, here's a plaque that says 2021 Great Baking Show. That's what you get.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks.
Here's your crystal platter you can put a cake on.
Grab a crumpet on your way out. Yeah.
That's right.
But no, I mean, I know the kids love it. I think that's what's really great is, so there were no high school entries really.
Yeah, no.
I wonder why.
We actually kind of evaluated, the way we did things. So one of the things that we did pre-pandemic was that I would go with the GT specialist, and we would visit every school in our service area, and then as we've expanded, we would visit every school who was going to potentially participate.
Okay.
Pandemic hit. We couldn't do that, during the pandemic. But we did hold it over Zoom. In fact, during the pandemic, we did it virtually. Everything was virtual, and it worked out beautifully. But this year, just because of different things that were going on, we didn't get that opportunity to go around to the schools. And
so the roadshow didn't happen.
The roadshow didn't happen, and I think that's...
The PR wasn't there.
Yeah, so I think that's a big part of it. And so that's one of the things that the GT specialist and I talked about. What are ways, what did we fall short on? What can we improve on? And, as the EduTechGuys theme of the year is, the why.
Why, yeah.
So we want to look at, so why didn't this work? But also, why are we ultimately doing this? And it's, to teach the students that they can put together engaging, entertaining content while still performing the research behind whatever it is, their thing. And I forgot to mention earlier, in addition to the topics, they have to pick a side. You can't just present pros and cons and call it good and say, well, we don't really know. It could be this or it could be that. No, you have to pick a side and you have to defend your side. So that's all of that, all of those skills, working as a group, doing the research, picking a topic, picking a side, defending your side. Those are skills that those students are going to take with them really no matter what job they end up doing, whether they go to college or whether they go to trade school or whatever it is they do after their high school education. Once they're done with their schooling, their school age education, those are skills they can take forward forever.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if it would be interesting to follow back up on the topics, because I wonder if the high school kids didn't just, I'm a high school kid now, and that's not relevant to me. It would be interesting to see what relevant topics they're looking at. I guess all we need to do is just watch about 72 hours of TikTok videos. We can probably figure out what the relative topic would be. So
yeah, exactly.
That's interesting. That sounds like a lot of fun. And it's interesting there was over 50.
Over 50.
That's crazy.
And one of the most prolific topics that was chosen was should video games be considered a sport? And it was very interesting to see the research that the students did, the conversations that the students had.
What was the overall? Yes, it should be.
Overall, yes. And the arguments for them generally centered around things like, well, if you think of a sport, what makes a sport a sport? Well, it can be a team thing, doesn't necessarily have to be a team thing, but you are competing. It takes practice. It does take skill. And at the end of the day, at least for most, there is a reward for winning.
Right.
And, when you look at, especially like the esports arena, it's got all of that.
Right.
Now they're not dribbling a basketball down the court, throwing a football across the field. These students are doing this, using the equipment that they are given for that sport. In this case, it's, controllers or keyboards and mice or whatever they're, but still you're talking about, hand-eye coordination. You're talking about communication. You're talking about, the physics involved.
So many gamers I know, even back in the day, 20 years ago, playing Quake or Unreal or some of those games, the guys knew the physics of the boards and how the builds happened and where the holes were. And that's a big deal now. I guess if you're listening to this and you play any video game now, it's a big deal for all the video game, especially real-time games that are being played, PUBG and all that stuff. What's the one? Any of those? They're really big about people hacking in and breaking it. They've all got their own system to catch people and ban them from. But that's amazing that they built a world where people are hacking the world. I think that's going to be the fun part about Meta and Facebook is the amount of people that are going to go, well, how do we hack this? How do I get a Ferrari and this without having to pay for it?
Right.
In Meta or, that kind of thing. I think it's going to be interesting, but that's definitely what this is doing. And I think it's in this world of video and social media and, getting our point across, because that seems to be the whole deal. Doing this video vlog competition is really, really, cutting edge. Really gets the kids excited, and it definitely must. 50 plus teams.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Yeah. Well, we have to give Chad Morris a shout out. Can we do that? Is that legal?
Of course we can. It's our show.
Yeah, it's his GT. He's the GT coordinator, and actually does 2 co-ops. He's the GT coordinator for 2 co-ops. It was his brainchild to put this together, and so he's come up with a lot of those things.
Yeah.
So we'll give him a shout. Maybe we'll get him on the show someday. He's a hoot. So we definitely won't talk about anything that has to do with tech, but we'll definitely.
That's right.
It'll be goofy, I can tell you that.
It'll be the Techless EduTechGuys episode.
So listen, it's been a great show. It's been a quick one. We just wanted to let you know what's going on with us and what's happening out there. I hope you have a great Christmas. Me and the family, we're taking a rocket ride to the edge of space with the. I'm joking. That costs money. That's
not happening. If I can get it for free, sure.
Yeah, we're gonna turn off all the lights in our house, cover the windows, and I'm gonna shine one of those little star things you get at Walmart on the ceiling and go, "Welcome to the cosmos."
That's right.
We're in space.
That's right. I'm gonna come bang on the doors.
We're taking off. Everybody, hold on. So hey, but listen, keep up with us. We'll be social mediaing and all that kind of good stuff throughout the Christmas. If you don't follow us on Twitter, we try to do several posts and retweets on Twitter. We follow a lot of great educators that way. So if you want to check us out, just remember all of our social media is the @EduTechGuys.
That's right.
Also our logo, I guess, if you want to get right into it. I'm having my legal name changed to @EduTechGuy.
@EduTechGuy.
one.
One of them, just one.
Yeah,
That's
just
right.
one. David, I'll be two. David will be one. So.
That's right.
Hey, listen, been a great show. I'm Jeff Madlock.
I'm David Henderson.
We'll catch you next time.
You've been listening to the EduTech Guys, edutechguys.com.